This is the story of a man who had nothing, no money, no future, no hope, until he discovered one simple secret. He started waking up at 5 a.m. every single morning, and in just 90 days, his entire life completely changed. What he did in those early morning hours will shock you, and it might just be the answer you have been searching for. Before we start, I want to ask you something. What time are you listening to this right now? Where are you from? Drop a comment below and tell me, and please like and subscribe for more videos like this. In a small town where factories works day and night, there lived a 32-year-old man named Thomas. Thomas worked as a night security guard at a big warehouse. Every evening at 8 p.m., he went to work every morning at 6 a.m. tired and exhausted. He went home to sleep. His salary was very small. It was barely enough to survive. He lived in a tiny one-room apartment. The fan was broken. He slept on a mattress on the floor. There was only one light bulb, and it would flicker when the electricity was weak. His clothes were old. His shoes had holes in them. But Thomas suffered from something worse than being poor. He felt trapped. He felt stuck. Every morning, as he walked home past the sleeping town, he saw other people's lives through their windows. Families eating breakfast together, children getting ready for school, men in clean shirts going to office jobs. And Thomas would think, will this be my life forever? Walking home while everyone else is waking up to live their dreams, he had tried to change his life. He had applied for better jobs, but he only finished high school, so every door was closed to him. He wanted to learn new skills. But after working all night, he was too tired to do anything except sleep. His mother lived in the countryside. She would call him once every week. Thomas, my son, when will your life get better? I am getting old. I want to see you succeed before I die. Thomas would try to sound happy. Soon. Mama, soon. I am working on it. But he was not working on it because he did not know how. The truth that hurt him the most was this. He was not lazy. He worked hard. Every night he walked 4 miles. He stayed alert. He did his duty. But hard work alone was not changing anything. He was working hard in a life that was going nowhere, and every morning when he fell into bed around 7 a.m. and slept until 4 p.m., he felt like he was living backwards. The world moved forward while he slept through it. One thought kept coming back to him like a whisper he could not ignore. There has to be another way. But what? One cold Tuesday morning in November, Thomas's phone rang just as he was leaving work. It was his sister. Thomas, you need to come home now. Mama collapsed. She's in the hospital. His heart stopped. He took the first bus to his village. It was a 3-hour journey that felt like forever. When he arrived at the small village clinic, his mother was in bed. She was weak, but awake. The doctor said she had fainted from being too tired and too stressed. She needed rest, better food, and medicine they could not afford. His mother held his hand. Her voice was barely a whisper. Thomas, I do not have much time left. Please, my son, do not waste your life like I wasted mine. Find a way, promise me. Thomas sat beside her bed long after she fell asleep. He looked at her wrinkled hands, hands that had worked in fields for decades, just like he worked through nights, both of them struggling but going nowhere. Something inside him broke, not with sadness, with anger at his own helplessness. He stepped outside the clinic into the darkness before dawn. It was 5 a.m. The village was still asleep, but a few farmers were already walking to their fields. Birds were beginning to sing. The air was cool and fresh, and in that moment, standing in the quiet dawn, Thomas made a decision. No more, he whispered. I will not live like this anymore. I do not care what it takes. I will find a way. On the bus ride back to town, Thomas noticed something. Sitting across from him was a man in his 50s. He was well-dressed. He was reading a book. He looked peaceful. Thomas recognized him. Mr. Chun, a successful businessman who owned several shops in town. What shocked Thomas was the time. It was 6 a.m. A successful man traveling on a regular bus. At dawn, Thomas came to the village. He gathered his courage. Excuse me, sir. Why are you on this early bus? Mr. Chun looked up and smiled. Because I wake up at 4:30 every morning. I use this time to read, think, and plan my day before the world wakes up. But do you not need sleep? I sleep at 9 p.m., 7.5 hours. That is any in oak. Mr. Chun looked at Thomas's tired face. You work nights? Yes. Security guard. And when do you sleep? 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. Usually. Mr. Chun nodded slowly. So you are awake when the world sleeps, and asleep when the world works. No wonder you are stuck. He leaned forward. Young man, let me tell you a secret that changed my life 30 years ago. The hours between 5 a.m. and 7 a.m., those are magic hours. That is when you can build the life you want to live. You can build the life you want to live. You can build the life you want to live. You can build the life you want to live. You can build the life you want to live. You can build the life you want to live. While everyone else is still dreaming, Thomas felt something stir inside him. A dangerous thing called hope. But how I work until 6 a.m., I need sleep, then change your sleep when you get home at 6:30, wake up at 11:30, that is 5 hours enough to survive, then live your real life when the world is awake. And if you can change 2-day work, eventually wake at 5 a.m., always that is the secret. Mr. Chun wrote his phone number on a card if you are serious about changing your life. Call me. I will show you what to do with those morning hours, but only if you are serious because it requires discipline. Most people do not have. The bus reached Thomas's stop. He looked at the card in his hand and made a promise to himself, I will do it starting tomorrow that evening. Thomas did something he had never done in his life. He called Mr. Chun the next day at 11 a.m. for the first time in years. Thomas was awake during daylight on a weekday. He met Mr. Chun at a small cafe. Mr. Chun looked at him with approval. You actually changed your sleep schedule. Good. Most people talk. You acted now. I will teach you what to do with your mornings. He took out a notebook and drew a simple picture. Thomas, imagine your life is a house. Right now, your house is dark, cold, and falling apart. Why? Because you never work on the foundation. You are too busy surviving. He drew a simple house. The hours from 5 a.m. to 7 a.m., that is your foundation building time. While everyone else is asleep or just waking up, you are building the future. 2 hours every morning, that is 14 hours per week, 60 hours per month, 730 hours per year.